Nigeria. I am Becky Madujemo. It's another beautiful Sunday on Newsline. So much stories to tell. Some are sweet while others are bitter, but that is life as we know it. On this program, we always look out for vulnerable people, especially children. We do not hesitate to protect their rights and privileges. So tonight, we shall expose a syndicate involved in the illegal adoption business. You'll get to see the physical and emotional trauma their victims have had to endure. A homicide recently rocked the city of Onitsha. Some members of a family were brutally murdered while they slept. Why the suspect committed the act will be explained. We also have cheering updates. Be sure to watch out for the 12-year-old boy with kidney failure we projected a few weeks ago. Let's proceed with the news of the day before we unveil our stories. Over to Elizabeth Omori.
Thank you so much, Becky. Now let's begin with the just concluded Edo governorship election. The incumbent governor of Edo State and candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Saturday's governorship election has been elected for a second term. He polled a total number of 307,955 votes to beat his closest opponent, APC candidate Pastor Osaigi Ize-Iyamu, who scored 223,619 votes. Ogochukwu Kaona tells us more.
Governor Obaseki was declared winner by the returning officer of the election and Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Efron, Delta State.
I, Professor Akofure Rimruge, hereby sanctify that I'm the returning officer for Edo State governorship election held on the 19th day of September 2020. That Godwin N. Obaseki of PDP, having satisfied the requirement of the law in meeting the 25% in two-thirds of the local government area in the state and having a margin of lead higher than the council votes, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected. Signed by my very self. Today, 20 September 2020.
The party agents comment.
I want to use this opportunity to thank all Edo people and also appreciate INEC for a very peaceful process, as well as the security agencies.
In the next couple of days, the party will come out with its position on how we are going to address these anomalies that have been changed these elections. We are going to appeal to our supporters to be calm and not to subject themselves into unlawful acts. APC is a responsible party and will continue to be peaceful.
The number of accredited voters is 557,443. Total valid votes, 537,407. Rejected votes, 12,835, while the total votes cast is 550,242. In Benin, Ogochukwu Kaona, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari has formally congratulated Governor Godwin Obaseki for winning the just concluded Edo governorship election, urging him to show grace and humility in victory. In his reaction to the outcome of the election as announced by INEC, the president commended the electoral process, saying democracy will mean nothing if the votes of the people don't count or their mandate fraudulently tampered. In a statement, President Buhari said his commitment to free and fair elections is firm because without free and fair elections, the foundation of our political and moral authority will be weak. The president added that he has consistently advocated for free and fair elections in the country because it is the bedrock of true democratic order. The Nigerian leader commended the people of Edo State, the parties, candidates and security agencies for conducting themselves responsibly. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party has lauded innovations brought into the nation's electoral process and what it described as remarkable improvement by the security agencies as demonstrated during the last governorship election in Edo State. Timothy Yusuf reports that the party's National Publicity Secretary stated the position while reacting to the victory of the party's candidate, Governor Godwin Obaseki.
The National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Kola Olobondiyan, said the party applauds the use of virtual portal by INEC to upload results directly from the polling unit, which is believed to be the base of any election. The initiative, he adds, made it impossible for electoral violators to hijack the process.
This victory, as won by the people of Edo State, is historic.
On security, the PDP says it noted remarkable improvement in their activities. The PDP appreciates the candidate of the APC, Pastor Sagi Zeyamu, whose participation in the election it believes helped to deepen the nation's democracy, and urges him to team up with his brother, Governor Godwin Obaseki, in the onerous task of leadership in the general interest of all Edo people. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And the All Progressives Party has alleged foul play in its September 19 governorship election and called on party members to remain calm as party leaders are already studying the result to decide on next step. In a release signed by the chairman APC Media Campaign Council, John Mayaki, the party alleged illicit tampering with results to show up PDP numbers and mark down APC's score. The party also frowned at what it terms arbitrary arrest of its local party members during the election and called on its members to stay calm as the party will soon come up with its decision on the alleged electoral malpractice. Away from political matters, the road component of Kaduna Urban Renewal Project is expected to be completed in the next 18 months. Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, while inspecting the progress of work, urged the contractors to speed up the project. Mohammed Omar Achingi reports.
It is a city under construction, with workers toiling day and night, constructing new roads, dualizing old ones and building bridges. At the popular Yakubu Gowon Way, for instance, an underpass and overpass are being built, so the Leventis roundabout has since given way. The old Cow Bridge has been brought down, and new pillars already standing tall, waiting to bear the burden of a world-class overpass. A new Kaduna is emerging, as the Raba Road has also been closed for the construction of a bridge that will link Ungwan Kanawa and Rigasa Railway Station.
We went to China and signed a global agreement with CCECC in Beijing, in China, their headquarters, to be partners with Kaduna State Government. So we're working together. So whether we have money or not, they will work. But we have money, we are paying them. When we launched this project, we gave them an advance payment of 10 billion naira.
This 5.6-kilometer road linking Millennium City through the Eastern Bypass is receiving desired attention as work progresses on it. This is in addition to the housing projects springing up in the area. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
The industrialization drive of the Osun State government receives another boost as Governor Gboyega Oyetola flags of Osun Ethanol Biorefinery in Iragbiji. When completed, the refinery is expected to provide additional 10,000 jobs in the state. Correspondent Joshua Ogunjide reports.
Ethanol, a byproduct of cassava, is one of the safe energy sources the world has embraced as a measure to also prevent global warming. Against this background, Osun State government, through public-private partnership, welcomed the establishment of the ethanol biorefinery factory at Iragbiji as an harvest of the Osun Economic and Investment Summit, convoked in November 2019 to stimulate the economy of the state.
Osun Ethanol Biorefinery factory will be operating on over 21 hectares of land, considered to it as equity. On full operation, it is estimated that it will attract about $70 million to the state.
There will also be 3 biogel microplants in strategic locations across the state to carry out the gel production and packaging.
When completed in the next 36 months, the Osun Ethanol Biorefinery will generate an estimated 10,000 jobs with a production capacity of 7 million liters of biofuel annually. From Iragbiji, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
Winners have emerged in the first edition of the Nigerian Oil and Gas Technology Hackathon competition in Lagos. Annie Daniels reports that the competition is the brainchild of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board in collaboration with the NELA Support Consultancy.
The competition, according to the management of the Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board, NCDMB, after being rolled out, got 630 entries, out of which 15 teams contested for the opportunity to emerge among the top finalists. The idea, they say, is to foster innovations in the oil and gas and ancillary industries, as well as create a platform for the proliferation of local content and digital technologies.
It's very important that these ideas are not stolen. So we take them through a patent process. We take them through a prototyping stage where they prototype these ideas.
The event was highly competitive, after which 5 winners emerged, smiling home with a whooping sum of $10,000 each.
We build an automated aerial surveillance system that does continuous aerial surveillance for up to 90 days using a helium balloon and an artificial intelligence software.
Our project lies to help fuel stations to be able to have accurate data.
I would like to say a big thank you, kudos, and we hope to make you guys proud.
The world is going digital, so if we succeed in getting these guys to develop good products, then think about what that would do to the Nigerian economy.
Executive Secretary, NCDMB, Simbi Kesia Wabote, via Zoom said his expectation from the winners is to clear their vision, strategize, but stay on their passion.
The goal is to fund bankable businesses. In this journey that we're involved in, it is not charity, it is about business. And we are committed more than ever to work with the 5 winners to take them to the next level.
The contest began in June 2020, and the 3-day hackathon connected 15 selected teams to industry experts, mentors and entrepreneurs who provided close guidance to the teams throughout the duration of the hackathon. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And in other news, the Joint Health Sector Unions, JHESU, and the Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations have directed their members to suspend the 7 days nationwide warning strike from Sunday midnight, 20th of September. JHESU's chairman said by this notice, all health workers under JHESU and HAPA shall return to work on Monday, 21st of September 2020 across all federal health institutions in the country. He added that JHESU will continue to use all legitimate means to defend the rights and welfare of its members in the healthcare sector by demanding that public health system in Nigeria be sustained and adequately financed, effectively, efficiently, and affordable to all. First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, has sympathized with the government and people of Kebbi State over the recent flood disaster affecting many communities in the state. The First Lady assured those affected of her continued support to reducing the impact of the hardship. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports on this and the pattern of the distribution of the relief materials to affected areas.
In continuation of her humanitarian gesture to victims of flood disasters in Nigeria, the First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari sent a delegation to Kebbi State. Tim Future Short visited Zimakera in Birnin Kebbi for the distribution of the materials directly to the affected persons as the whole area was submerged. NASA stated the victims to be using canoes on board in finding their ways to neighboring communities for succor. These women are moving to receive the materials brought to them by the First Lady as the distribution was on first-come, first-served basis. The items distributed include rice, noodles, blankets, cooking oil, and other essential commodities. Future Assured team also visited Garkar Sarki in Jiga local government of the state, the area that was hit hard by flood, for similar exercise. The essence was to put a smile on their faces and to cushion the effect of their hardship.
We were here since a few days ago. We have started distributing items as palliative measures to cushion the effect and impact of the flooding that happened. Today, we are in Jega local government. Yesterday, we were in other local governments like Badugo and and Kalgo, Zaga town, and even some remote locations inside the bush where most of the people really, that their houses were washed out, their means of livelihood taken away, we were forced to resettle in temporary settlements.
I wish to express our profound gratitude and appreciation for this contribution and her kindness to our people.
Team Future Assured had earlier distributed similar relief materials to the affected communities in Bagudo and Zaga in Kalgo local government areas of the state, with a plan for the gesture to be extended to Arugungu and Yauri local governments and other affected areas. In Birnin Kebbi, Ali Kabir, NTA News.
Into flood management, the Nigeria Meteorological Agency has continued to release yearly outlook of flood disasters in the country in order to create awareness and ensure adequate preparations by affected states. To this end, the National Emergency Management Agency has been visiting states across the Federation to sensitize state governments on how to tackle such disaster. Uyo Kelvin Samuel reports that goods and property worth millions of naira were destroyed in the state when flood wrecked homes, a filling station, and a hotel at Ikim-Itam Junction. The owner of the filling station and hotel said the problem started when a construction company working on the road channeled a drainage towards his building but left it uncompleted, and efforts to reach the contractor proved abortive until the rain came and washed away valuables.
We are all stranded. We don't have any place to sleep right now.
We noticed the house was already flooded, so we tried lifting up things and everywhere was already messed up before we could even do anything.
They are appealing to the government to mandate the construction company to complete the drainage projects. In Yobe, Yunusa Suleiman reports that statistics indicated that this year the flood disaster claimed 9 lives and destroyed many communities in 16 local government areas of the state. In a bid to strengthen collaboration in combating the annual disaster, NEMA was in Yobe State on an advocacy visit to encourage the state government to key into the 2020 National Flood Mitigation Response Recovery Drive.
This year, the highly probable flood risk areas in Yobe State include Gaidam, Bade, Bursari, Karasua, Yusufari, local government areas. Your Excellency, in view of the foregoing, I wish to request the state government to kindly take proactive and necessary mitigating measures.
Meanwhile, the Director of Disaster Control Department, NEMA, Vincent Owan, has urged the Benue State government to put in place effective mechanism preparatory to addressing impending disasters.
It is imperative to activate all plans and measures against the prediction as the seasons move towards the peak.
Charles Alba reports that Governor Samuel Ortom also re-emphasized concern over the silting of River Benue and called for its dredging to forestall adverse flooding in the states.
When the whole state was devastated with flooding, Makurdi was flooded with water everywhere. And the Vice President graciously came here and we saw our plight and promised that he was going to work towards the dredging of River Benue. That will be the solution.
And now to security. In line with the global best practice of modern Air Force operation, the Nigerian Air Force has trained and graduated 24 rappellers at the annex of Regiment Training Center Bauchi. Muazu Hassan reports that the force also inaugurated 219 personnel for Special Force Course 7 2020.
The graduation ceremony of the 24 successful intermediate rappellers begins with the demonstration of necessary skills, tactics and procedures the trainees have acquired during the course, which is expected to enable them operate effectively in the Nigerian Air Force Special Operations Force units. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, represented by the Air Officer Commanding Ground Training Command, Air Vice Marshal Idi Amin, says the course was designed to equip the instructors with what it takes to adequately mold the trainees into the best special force operatives.
At this juncture,
that we are proud of the standard of knowledge and skill which the instructors inculcated in the trainings of various courses, as well as being demonstrated by the special forces involved in various internal security operations across the country. We urge you not to rest on your oars, but to continue to work assiduously for further improvements.
The 219 personnel inaugurated for the Special Course 7 2020 comprise 14 officers and 205 airmen and airwomen. The course is said to be very rigorous and is expected to produce resilient, trustworthy and professional special forces in Bauchi. Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
Now, the Zazzau Emirate earlier today announced the passing away of the Emir of Zazzau, Alhaji Shehu Idris, at the age of 84 after a brief illness. The late Emir ruled Zazzau Emirate for 45 years. Nigerians from all walks of life converged on the palace of the late Emir to pay their last respect as he was laid to rest. Abdullah Mohammed reports that a delegation from the presidency was led by the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari.
The crowd was mammoth, an indication of the determination of many to show up for the last time in honor of the late Emir of Zazzau. The Emir of Kano, Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, as well as the delegation from the presidency met the front row, and the final rites began. Allahu Akbar. The president delegation thereafter presented a message full of consolation to the entire Zazzau Emirate and Kaduna State.
Well, on behalf of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, we've been sent here a delegation, a very powerful delegation, to deliver his condolences to His Excellency the Governor of Kaduna State, the entire members of the Traditional Council of Zaria, and also the family of the deceased, and the entire people of Kaduna State and of Zaria for the loss of a very eminent Nigerian. May he rest in peace, and may the Almighty Allah grant him a Jannah Firdaus.
Emir was a father to all of us. He has been Emir for 45.5 years since I was in secondary school. And he has been a source of guidance and wisdom to all of us in the government. And we really miss him. May his soul rest in peace. May Allah grant him Al Jannah Firdaus. And may Allah give all of us in Kaduna State the fortitude to bear his loss.
The delegation from the presidency has since left for Abuja. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari has expressed shock and grief over the death of the Emir of Zazzau, Alhaji Shehu Idris. In a condolence message to Governor Nasir El-Rufai, the government and people of Kaduna State, the president said Nigeria has lost one of its longest reigning monarchs, whose contributions to the promotion of unity and peaceful coexistence among Nigerians cannot be forgotten for years to come. The president said the Emir of Zazzau, who ascended the throne in 1975, had used his long reign to serve his people with dedication and identified with their aspirations at all times. He prayed to Allah to forgive the late Emir and grant his family and subjects the fortitude to bear the loss. 45 years of late Shehu Idris on the throne of Zazzau Emirate is the longest and most eventful era in the recorded history of the ancient city. Mejama Adamo in this report tells us about the life and times of the late Emir.
Ina kira ga jama'a su ta ma addu'a ga sarakunan Zazzau duka waɗanda suka riga mu gidan gaskiya.
Let Shehu Idris, the 18th Emir of Zazzau, pleading for prayers for the repose of the souls of emirs who preceded him on the ancient throne of the Zazzau Emirate. Today he has joined those predecessors after 84 eventful years of journey of livelihood, 45 of which he spent on the throne of rulership. Born in 1937 to the family of Malam Idris Auta, Shehu Idris' genealogy is traced to Sarkin Zazzau Abdul Karimi of the Fulani ruling clan who reigned from 1834 to 1846. In addition to receiving vast Islamic knowledge from scholars in Zaria, Shehu Idris was also enrolled for formal studies at Zaria Elementary School and later Zaria Middle School between 1947 to 1955. He also attended Katsina Training College, where he was trained as a teacher and later picked up the teaching job before changing cadre when he was appointed private secretary to Sarkin Zazzau Muhammadu Aminu and later appointed as the secretary to the Zaria Native Authority Council in 1965. In 1973, he was bestowed the title of Amadami Zaria and was appointed the district head of Zaria City and its surroundings. With the demise of Sarkin Zazzau Muhammadu Aminu in 1975, Sheikh Idris was considered suitable and appointed the 18th Emir until his death 45 years after, enjoying the longest tenure in the history of the throne. His era was eventful, as Zazzau under his watch witnessed far-reaching transformation in education, infrastructure, commerce, politics, and administration, anchored on peace and harmony among the diverse socio-ethnic composition of its people. As Kaduna State and the nation at large stand in honor of a distinguished monarch, educationist, administrator, and a man of peace, the prayer on the lips of many is for Zazzau Emirate to outlive his era in peace and prosperity. In Kaduna, Majama Adamu, NTA News.
And condolence messages have been pouring in honor of the late monarch. Najata Tijani compiled some of the messages.
In his condolence message, the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, commiserated with the people of Zazzau Emirate over the passing of the highly revered Emir Alhaji Shehu Idris. Senator Lawan also commiserated with the government and people of Kaduna State on the death of the traditional ruler he described as one of the highest ranking and respected in Nigeria, and prayed Allah to grant his people and family the fortitude to bear the loss, forgive his sins and accept him to Al-Jannat Firdaus. Meanwhile, the Northern Governors Forum says it is saddened by the death of the Emir of Zazzau, who passed on at the age of 84. The chairman of the forum and governor of Plateau State, Simon Bagolalong, in a condolence message, described the death of the royal father as a big loss to the people of Zazzau Emirate, Kaduna State, and the nation at large. He said the Northern Governors Forum benefited from the deep reservoir of knowledge of the late royal father, who consistently promoted unity, peace, and security of the region and the nation as a whole. Similarly, the All Progressives Congress national leader Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu says the passing of the Emir of Zazzau marks the end of an era in Zazzau Emirate and the North. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu described the late Emir as a detribalized Nigerian who is committed to Nigeria's unity and progress. He condoles with the family, the Emirate, Kaduna Emirate Council, the government and people of Kaduna State, and prays Almighty Allah to reward his good deeds, forgive his shortcomings, and grant him eternal rest. Meanwhile, the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has described the death of the Emir as a loss of a rare gem, a source of wisdom, guidance, and a true father of all.
Talking sports now, all the 3 EPL matches for Sunday ended in defeats for the home sides. For details of these and more, let's now join Amanza Marcus on Sports Updates.
Nigeria's Taiwo Awoniyi remains in the German Bundesliga following his 7th loan from Liverpool, this time to Union Berlin, where he is to remain until the end of the 2020-2021 season, having scored 12 goals for Mainz 05 last season. He spoke of his ambition at the club. At Union, I want to take the next steps, play as much as possible, develop and help the team to stay in the league. Awoniyi, who joined Liverpool in 2015, has a contract up to 2023 and joins compatriot Anthony Uja in the German capital club side that placed 11th last season. In a related development, delegates at the 70th FIFA Congress held via video conference approved a rule change giving players more flexibility on change of nationality, as they can now switch if they have played no more than 3 matches at senior level before the age of 21. Any footballer that has competed at the World Cup finals or Continental Championship like AFCON is prohibited from change of nationality. However, a player that played only in the qualifiers is eligible to a switch of allegiance. Delegates from FIFA's 211 member associations equally approved the 2019 to 2022 budget, and that meetings can be held via video conference. In basketball, Boston Celtics bounced back from consecutive losses to beat Miami Heat 117-106 in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals near Orlando. Ecuador. Jalen Brown scored 26 points as Celtics avoided falling behind in the best-of-7 series. Football stakeholders in Nigeria are mourning the death of the Adamawa State FA chairman and executive committee member of the Nigeria Football Federation, Musa Duhu, who was buried on Sunday in Yola. Chairman of Adamawa United Football Club of Yola, Emmanuel Zira, said the passage of Musa Duhu is a massive blow to the growth and development of football in the state, considering the massive stability and unity he brought in our football family, unquote. Was Sports Updater Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
And next is a look at the weather picture for tomorrow, Monday.
Welcome.
And that concludes the news segment of Newsline. More to come with Becky after this time out. To stay with us.
My tailor no be your mate. He don't dey for your grade. If he knock you agbada, your tailor go dey hell.